What shall we talk about?
I actually do have a question.
Actually, you do have a question.
Because last time you mentioned how path of yoni and yoga and bhakti eventually merge
Yes,
into one.
yes,
And I grew up in a very devotional setting, and then I left that, and then I came across non-dual
yes,
pathway, and I still find that when I do inquiry, and then my face turns towards God,
yes.
I smile.
Yeah.
So I like that's for me the sign, and yet I seem to forget to also practice.
Also practice.
Bhakti.
If you feel
Like
that divine presence, then don't you worry about it. Practicing.
Well,
stay with that.
nurturing.
Nurturing.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
it's
not
nurturing itself. Just stay with it. Keep your heart open and wait and see what happens.
because certainly there is a tremendous help from inquiry.
Yes,
Yeah.
inquire. But when you are quiet, keep quiet. And then, if there comes a little doubt in your mind whether this is good, you still can inquire. But who has the doubt? Who is experiencing this? But not inquire in a way of wanting to get an answer to that question. Simply as a help to bring your attention again completely to that timelessness where you sense, you said, your face is turning towards God. So then just stay with that, open. That's basically as far as you can go. Whether you call it that you are in God's presence or whether you feel your presence, your sense of presence, it's the same. That's as far as we can do something about it. Then Ramana recommends that when you are relatively quiet, that you still once in a while do that inquiry, but we have the tendency when it's relatively quiet then to start to slowly, instead of being expansive, to rather to shut down and to dream a bit away on that, to just enjoy the relatively pleasant experience of not thinking all the time. Like that you can use the inquiry, but don't think that you have to somehow dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. Just be and be quiet. That's all you need to do. That's all you can do. Somehow, whether it's with devotion or with inquiry or with whatever means, bring the attention back to that sense of presence and relax. It's not a joke.
Why not?
This whole world is a joke. Just be and relax. And wait and see what happens. You can't do anything beyond that. But you can help by reminding yourself and somehow use one technique or another or no technique. Just bring the attention back to that and let go, relax. That's all we can do. It's not that there you have to learn a magic trick to go beyond that. The magic is already there. You don't have to learn a trick. That's all. That's the essence of all the practices, all the different paths, all the different techniques, all the different religions, is somehow to help you to, just instead of being scattered all over the place, being so obsessed with the content of our perceptions or our thoughts or our emotions, to somehow bring the attention back to that which makes the experience possible. And then let go. That's all we need to do, that's all we can do, but somehow that we have to do. Don't get seduced by the modern teaching, don't do anything, don't do anything. Doership is just increasing the ego. You're anyhow doing so much all the time, unconsciously, with the mind going roo. That's a tremendous doing, and as long as that is going on, we can't avoid that little doing of reminding ourselves, hey, look what's going on, and learn to detach from that obsession and come back home. But there the doing stops, that's all we can do. Whether it's that you feel the, yourself, that sense of presence, or whether you feel the presence of God, it doesn't matter, it's the same. The devotee will interpret it of starting to feel the divine presence. The jnani will rather say that the attention comes back to the self, to that sense of presence, that timelessness of the now. The difference is only in the interpretation we give after that in the mind, not really in the fact.
Sometimes it's not obvious where you have to turn your attention. What is that point? Because there are many phenomena inside and outside. And when you look inside, you don't see the certain point. You see the space, and the space maybe doesn't have limits. And it's very difficult for the force of intention to be in the center of it. So the question is where you have to look inside.
Where? Right. It's not really a certain point, but you can choose a point as a help for the mind. Look at your body, feel your body, and feel the point where you are centering most naturally, most easy. And it's different for different people. It can be the heart, it can be the throat, it can be the third eye, it can be on top of the head, it can be the belly. Look for yourself where you are centering most naturally. And then make that into your center. And use that as a help. It's not that in that center you are more, reality is more than somewhere else. But it becomes a powerful help for the mind. If the mind is full of tensions, if we are distracted all over the place, if you have such a physical center, then to redirect the attention to the physical center, and from there all you have to do is to relax. And you're right there. And that second there is not a certain point. But still, you can keep your experience centered in that point. Centering in the body doesn't mean that you reduce your consciousness at that point only. Centering simply means you focus there, you center there, but you can be as expansive as you can be simultaneously. So use that as a help. Find that physical center where you are most comfortable. You can, if you haven't anyhow already found it out, experiment a bit and find out where you feel most comfortably centered. And then that doesn't mean you have to center there and never have the energy go anywhere else in your body. You just center, and whatever has to happen there in your body energetically, let it happen. But you have a reference point for the mind, and the more you use it, the more powerful it becomes. It becomes like a gateway, that the a gateway for your attention to come home. Just center and relax. Center and relax. And then don't bother yourself wondering, but where? Where is that? You're here. Here is timeless, spaceless. You're now. Now is timeless, spaceless. It's not somewhere. But catching the attention on its own level in this time-space continuum, you use the body as a conduit, center in the body and relax. And there, actually, the question doesn't rise anymore. The question doesn't rise as long as we're thinking about it, but if you are here now, then the question doesn't rise about where is it? Where is it? Really? You just are consciously conscious. Okay?
Maybe I have to try,
Yeah.
to see that